Today, I want to share a personal story with you that speaks volumes about the importance of the words that we put into our mind, as well as the words that we speak to others. So, before I get into the story, my proper introduction is I'm Connie Jo Holmes. I'm the founder of BU2BFULL Hypnosis and Coaching, and my mission with my company is to teach individuals how to confidently and courageously move from reacting to life to owning your life. And to me, using empowering, positive, productive words is a great way to begin to own your life. So let me start with this story. I have to tell you, I am 52 years old in 2022 recording this video. And this, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, happened when I was in fourth grade, so about 10 years old. And so that was a long time ago, but some of the details of this I remember like it was yesterday, probably because it instilled some beliefs in me that I never pursued because I didn't think I was good enough to do it. So, all right. So, but I'm sure some of the details around the actual event, I might not have 100% correctly, but trust me, I have 100% correctly that moment in this hallway. So what happened was, when I was in school, when we were in, I think it was fourth grade, and I can't remember if it was for the entire class or just those individuals that wanted to play a musical instrument. But I wanted to play a musical instrument, so I had to take a musical aptitude test. And I was rather excited about it because I really wanted to play the clarinet. And I had a lot of friends that played instruments, and I wanted to, be in the band with them. And I just thought it would be a really great thing for me to do. And so I remember the teacher grabbing me from class. At least she did that, right? Didn't do this in front of everybody. But I remember being pulled out of class and being taken outside or out to the hallway. And she told me, she said, Connie, she said, I know you want to play the clarinet. She said, but you really probably shouldn't play a musical instrument because you performed so poorly on the aptitude test. You only got a 42. And I really think she did say 42. I think I remember just that, like that moment, but I'm almost positive she did tell me that I scored a 42. And I remember like my 10-year-old self just being so confused and sad and all these emotions that you would feel being told that by a teacher, especially when you were so excited to be able to play this instrument and be in the band and all of that. And I'm saying this now. I don't know if I really felt this at that moment, but I was in school. Aren't you supposed to be taught in school? So being told that it was something I couldn't do never even entered my mind because you're supposed to teach me how to do that, right? So, anyways, so cutting to my current life, I mean, I still tell the story. I mean, seriously, if I'm at, I don't know, different networking events or something like that, and people are talking about music and playing an instrument, I always tell them the story. It's actually quite sad, but it really has stuck with me all those years later. Now, would I have been some musical instrument great? Who knows? Do I really want to be right now? No, not really. Although I would love to be able to play the piano. God, I would love to do that. And you know what? I could go do that because I'm not too old to learn that. But anyways, I digress a little bit. But it's just amazing because I remember, and again, I'm reflecting now with my 52-year-old self looking back on this incident, but how much of being, dramatic, well, I don't know if it was dramatic, but, being pulled out of the class to be taken into this hallway all by myself, to be told by my teacher that I failed the test so badly that she didn't recommend that I take a musical instrument. But then she wasn't there to say, but I can teach you, or you can talk to your parents about hiring, a tutor or something like that, or you can go take a class outside of school. Like I wasn't offered any of those things. And so I guarantee you in that hallway, in that moment, something came into my subconscious like, oh, I'm not a musical person. And I could be like all hogwash right now, but I have to tell you, I do love music. I love and I appreciate music, but I do have a little bit of a a thing with me. It can be my absolute favorite band, or it can be an absolute song that I love. And and if somebody was to say, "Oh, who sings this song?" I just go blank. I totally go blank. And again, it could be my favorite band. And I almost wonder, and I've done this for years, so we can't blame it on being 52, even though that's still young. But I really, since I was like, I've never been able to recall that like right now. And I really wonder how much of it is because of my little hallway moment, being told that I'm not musically inclined and that this is not something that I should pursue in my life. So who knows? We will never know the answer to that story. But the reason I'm sharing it with you is because, you know, those words did stick with me. That moment stuck with me. Did it freeze me? Maybe it did. Now, with my 52-year-old self looking back on that moment, and if the roles were reversed, knowing what I know now, oh my God, I would never do that to another person. I would have a private conversation with them, and I would, before I even told them the grade, because what does it really matter? It's a number. But I would pull them to the side and be like, hey, you took this test. And, I would ask questions like, is anyone in your family? Does anyone play an instrument? I would really start to strip it away to find out like how musically inclined and exposed, that's the word, how musically exposed is this child? And then I would really find out like, well, what instrument did you want to play? Why did you want to play an instrument? Because maybe you would reveal, it really wasn't the instrument they wanted to play. They actually wanted to just have an extracurricular activity to, do with their friends. Well, if that's the case, then maybe you would, steer them towards sports or, some other kind of club or something like that. Granted, I do have the benefit of hindsight with all of this, but I also have the opportunity to share this with you because we're all in leadership and teaching opportunities every single day of our lives. And this is an example of being a really good teacher and a really good leader to those that are in your life. Don't let a number or a score determine someone's ability or desire and motivation to do something. But spend a little bit of time, picking it apart so that you can really uncover what is it in there that person, desires and why. Now, you know what, in that scenario, maybe the teacher would find out nobody in my family's musically inclined. I've never been exposed to music, but I really do want to play an instrument because I just love it, or, something like that. Well, then, you know what? Then get me help. Go and find somebody, or you're the teacher, like spend some time with me and teach me this. Or, recommend some outside activities for me to do to help me grow that skill. So anyways, that is kind of a sad story, isn't it? But it makes a great teaching opportunity, and that's exactly what I wanted to do today. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. So please remember that. Please remember the words that you tell yourself, the beliefs that you instill in yourself, as well as what you communicate and how you communicate to others. Okay? All right, so on that, rock on. Take it easy.